It's news time. Information is power. Be current. The news headline. I used to attend a church in Abuja till the pastor began to see himself as someone who must bring the Buhari government down. Additional backs Kumuyi. The special advisor to the president on media and publicity, Femi Adesina, has narrated how he stopped attending an Abuja church because the pastor was always attacking President Muhammadu Buhari. In an article titled "This Kumuyi is Simply Different," which was written in support of General Superintendent of the Deeper Christian Life Ministry, Pastor William Kumuyi's insistence that true believers shouldn't disdain those in power because they appear not to be delivering on electoral pledges. Additional accused some pastors of turning their pulpits to soap boxes upon which they spew hatred and also encouraging people to burn government properties during the last NSAS protests because they hate the fact that a Fulani man is their president. He also said that a whole former vice-chancellor of Ajayi Crowther University, Professor Dapo Ashaju, was within his right to be very angry over the state of the country. However, the led Buhari administration is doing a lot to change the nation's fortunes. Also, in this article, he said that if you read between the lines, the respected academic was vexed and exasperated with the security situation in this country and its concomitant spin-off, who will not be, as things normal, far from it, but is the government up and doing to turn things around for the people? Very much so. Then, is a subtle sponsoring of insurrection by ministers of God the next thing to do? Far from it, at least for those who know the purpose of their call and how they should comport themselves in a troubled polity. Like our master, a bruised reed shall not be break, and full smoking flax shall he not quench, till he send forth judgment unto victory. Pastor Kumuyi last weekend responded to Professor Ashaju through a statement titled "The Church and Challenges of a Nation," which I recommend that all Christians should read, and which is also very instructive to non-Christians. What is the purport and summary of what the Deeper Life GO said? He noted that the concerns of Professor Ashaju could not be dismissed, and the man must be seen as a patriot. But at Deeper Life Christian Church Ministry, we are far more aware of the existential crossroad than many have perceived. And these were the words of Femi Adesina after he had at a point in time given accolades to Joe Igbokwe of Lagos State.
Buhari was better than Obafemi Awolowo, Nnamdi Azikiwe, Aminu Kano et al. He succeeded in his mission, generating hateful comments against me, but I leave him to God. For we shall all stand before the judgment seat of God to answer for what we have done, including all forms of lies against a fellow man. Our profession or political and ethnic affiliations would no longer matter as at then. We're talking of Joe Igbokwe before the brief diversion. Yes, this man loves Buhari to bits. He loves Nigeria and he loves his native Igbo land. And you know what? That is now a crime in our country. Igbokwe's life has been severely and severally threatened. His family hounded, and on October 3rd this year, his county home in Inewi was set on fire. Igbokwe is a nationalist. His education, primary, secondary, and even university he had in the southeast, but since he got posted for national service in Ogun State in 1985, he had remained in the southwest, identifying with the people, their politics, their way of life, while not repudiating his love for his roots in Inewi and the southeast generally. No wonder he is popularly called Agbalanze, after that Onitsha Cultural Association. When it was not popular for people in the southeast to follow the progressives, Igbokwe threw his heart into the ring. From Alliance for Democracy AD to Action Congress of Nigerians ACN to All Progressive Congress APC, he stood to be counted. And if you count committed followers of Buhari today, the Agbalanze is in the number. If there is anything he needs to clarify about government or our principle, Igbokwe never hesitates to get in touch with him. I gave him background information and he is satisfied. when some people from his part of the country began to retreat into ethnic cleavages and wanted the intelligentsia to identify with them, the special advisor to the Lagos State Governor on Drainage and Water Resources made it clear that he was a nationalist and he stood by his conviction, speaking out against separatism and an attempt to balkanize the country. At the risk of so much, he opted for one Nigeria. Igbokwe loves Igbo land. Yes, don't we all love where we come from? Shouldn't we? We should, we must. Because even be good Nigerians, you have to do so. When strange things began to happen in the southeast, people being decapitated, public buildings being torched, and security agencies being murdered in cold blood, Igbokwe stood practically against it. Mom was the word from majority of the leaders of the region, but Igbokwe, the man dies in him, who keeps quiet in the face of tyranny. He spoke out. He kept saying building bridges across the length and breadth of the country was the only way to go, particularly for Igbo Renaissance. He refused to join those who were retreating into ethnic cocoon and stood for nationalism. It is either Nigeria or nothing. The man earned my deep respect. He stood for what was right, fair, and just, for centripetal rather than centrifugal forces in the country. On October 3rd, I was in Ethiopia with Mr. President attending the inauguration of that country Prime Minister for second term in office when he saw the sad news online. The regal country home of Igbokwe in Nnewi, where the man often retires for solitude and where he had a vast library, had been set ablaze. Who didn't? You know the answer. Unbridled hatred was on display, and a patriot was paying a heavy price for his convictions. When that magnificent White House erupted in smoke and fire, it was innocence that was burning. Patriotism was aflame, and the love for motherland was ablaze. Thy glory, O Israel, is slain upon the high places. Gladly, no life was lost, because the attackers couldn't lay their hands on anyone. But great was the loss, and I sorrowed for my brother Joe and his wives. He calls her his crush, Dr. Grace. What happened is what evil speaking does to a country. The lies and hate peddled by evil hearts have germinated, grown, and brought forth evil fruits. You would expect a man who had been hounded, reviled, and attacked by arsonists to return bile for bile, hate for hate, threaten fire and brimstone. But not our Joe. What did he say? We paid the price for the good of Igbo land and Nigeria. By the grace of God, we will rescue Igbo land. It is my turn today. Tomorrow it may be the turn of another body. We must take Igbo land back from the killers and arsonists. I say a resounding amen to those prayers. We must take every part of the country from those who mean no good, concocting sorrows and tears and blood. It is Nigeria or nothing. In brotherhood we stand. No other option is acceptable, not even conceivable. Otherwise,